Hello everyone. How's everyone today? Thank you for joining the Dirt Road Farmer. Well, today we've got some field work to do. We're going to this field here. If we jump out, because of our chopped straw mod, we're already at 50% fertilizer on this field, but it's going to have to be mulched. So I think we'll just jump right in here and do it. We've got two fields actually that are going to need to be mulched. So the other one, you can't really tell by looking at it that it needs to be mulched. But believe me, if you don't mulch it, we'll take a hit on our yield bonus. So we're going to go ahead and mulch it anyway. And then we'll see about getting these fields planted. So anyway, once we get these two fields planted and get them on their way, we have a big field. And well, I guess you would say big is kind of an understatement. We have a huge field. I think it's right at 3,000 acres. So, and that's soybeans, and they need to be harvested. So, yeah, we'll attack that. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to attack it. I don't know whether I just want to get some big grain carts, and when one gets loaded, just park it and pick up another grain cart, or whether I want to have a truck hauling from a mother bin over to the silo. I'm still not sure. The reason I say that is on that field, it's like I said, it's about 3,000 acres. I estimate that there's going to be between 12 and 15 million liters of grain come off of that field. So that's a lot of grain. A lot of grain. So we will just check it out. I don't know. It's very possible that I will have a truck hauling the grain. That's the way I usually do it. But on this one, the farther along in the field that we get, I would have to create another route for auto drive every time I wanted to move the buffer cart closer, so that the truck would know where to go to pick its load up. So anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but for today, we're just gonna keep mulching this field, and we'll get it planted, and that'll be one step closer to getting the big field harvested. All right, well, while we're waiting on that guy to finish up mulching this field, we'll go ahead and set this guy up to plant. I think we're going to plant canola, because we are going to have a bunch, and I do mean a bunch, of soybeans. So we'll go ahead and plant canola here, and we'll also plant it in the next field. So actually I think we can probably, we'll just let an AI worker handle this because he can handle it. So let's just go ahead and tell him to go to work. Everything looks good. Let's jump out and make sure everything is fine. We're 50% fertilized. Now, because we got the 50% fertilizer state from our harvester on the chopped straw mod, we don't need to change the soil texture in order to achieve the second 50%. But what we will do, let's tell this guy to go to work. We'll jump out and we'll go over here and we'll just look and see to make sure. And there we have it. We're 98% yield bonus, 100% fertilized. So, and like I said, in order to achieve the 100% yield bonus, we'd have to come in here and roll this field after we plant it. And yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So anyway, I think we'll go up here and we'll get in our other tractor and take it over and help the guy in the next field get that rolled or mulched, and then we'll turn some planters loose on that field and get it planted. All right, well, it looks like our guy's getting right along. He's doing a good job. This will be one field completed, and it'll have 100% fertilizer. It'll have a 98% field yield bonus, and I've got 2 tractors, 2 workers over in the field next to this one, which is a larger field, quite a bit larger, and they're in the process of getting that field mulched. And once they get it mulched, then we'll run, oh, I don't know, maybe 3 planters, maybe 4 planters over in that field, and we'll get it planted. So yeah, we're coming right along. Everything is looking good. And by the way, thank you for joining me. I sure appreciate it. As you know, I do commercial farming. If you look around, you will notice that this farm is quite different than a lot of other farms, and you don't see any trees. What you see is a lot of flat land and a lot of big fields, huge fields, and that's commercial farming. It's all about the grain, and it's all about how fast we can get it into the field and then get it harvested whenever it's ready to be harvested. So the commercial farming is my passion, and we deal in millions of liters of grain, and believe me, my operating costs are high because I have several workers working for me in the fields at one time, every day. So my operating cost is expensive. You take a 3,000 to 5,000 acre field, yeah, your seed cost, fertilizer cost, wages, they can get up there, around 50, 60,000. Yeah, $50,000 to $60,000 easy. So, but that's my passion, and that's what I love doing. So, anyway, we're going to let this guy go ahead and plant this field, and we'll go over and we'll check on our guys that's doing the mulching, see how they're getting along. All right, well, this guy's just about to get this field planted, and whenever he gets done, we'll take this tractor over to the next field over there, the one right in front of us. I've already got 2 other tractors with planters just like this over there. And what we'll do is we'll get these guys programmed in to run on Courseplay. The other guys that's already working in that field are mulching, and they're not quite done yet. But I think we can get these guys started, and the mulchers are far enough ahead that I don't think they'll catch them. So we'll have 3 of these guys planting, and it shouldn't take long to get across that field. So anyway, and we'll also plant canola in that field, because like I said, we're going to have a bunch of soybeans. So they're already planted, and like I said, we've got almost 3,000 acres of soybeans that needs to be harvested right now. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get this guy down there at the end of the field, and we'll get them programmed in and get them started planting. All right. So I'm not going to bother folding this guy up because we don't have that far to go, and I just have to unfold him again. So as you can see there on the corner, we have 2 planters already there. This will make 3. So I think 3 planters will be able to handle it just fine. So anyway, let's get down here and get them programmed in and get them fired off. I'll tell you one thing, Courseplay has sure made it a lot nicer for the commercial farmers on here. It's I mean, being able to run multiple tools in the field is just awesome. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It is just awesome. So, all right. Well, let's go over here. Let's start getting these guys programmed in. And the first thing that we need to do is go to the tractor itself, and let's make sure they're all set the same. We'll show all the waypoints in the beginning. You don't have to, but we will. Turning on the field is deactivated because we don't need them to turn on the field. They can turn off the field. We do want them to avoid driving in the fruit. Everything is fine there. We want them to raise the tools late and lower early. Everything is good there. And make sure the machine that uses fertilizer, which these do, make sure that's activated. We don't want them changing lanes. Alright, convoy distance 402. That's important. Alright. Now you can set that for whatever you want to, but I have found that 402 feet, it works pretty good. They won't run into one another that way. Alright. Well, we've got that guy set up. So we'll jump out of him and let's go to number 2. Let's get him started. And let's go and just make sure that he's the same. Make sure you set all the tractors that you're going to have running in this Courseplay. Make sure they're all running the same. That way you won't have any problems. Again, the machine's using fertilizer, so we want that activated. 402 feet convoy distance. All right, that looks good. And let's go to number 1. Let's get him started. And let's go in and make sure everything is fine here. All right, everything looks good there. Raise late, lower early. Okay, convoy distance 402. All right, that looks great. Now, the next thing we want to do when we start setting these up on Courseplay, very important, go over here to this thing that looks like a bunch of waypoints and click on that and come down here. If it's got a course already loaded into that tractor, we want to clear that current course. Just clear it. Okay, you don't want to load another course in on top of that one. All right. Now, we can go up here, and this is field 2, so we want to create a job for field 2. All right, we go up here, and we want Courseplay field work, CP field work, and our field position. We can bring that over here. And that's good. Just right there. All right. Now we can open our course generator. And we can start setting this up. Okay, multiple tools. Yes, we want 3. Number of headlands. We don't need any headlands. The field center is up and down. Starting direction automatic. All right, everything looks good. Everything looks good there. Let's generate the course. It'll take, all right, it's got it done. All right, so we can get out of this. And there's our course. Now, what we want to do next, excuse me, I am so sorry. We want to save this course. Excuse me, mercy. So we'll go down here and let's see, we want to get out of this. Get back here. All right, let's bring our HUD up. And as you can see, we don't have a course yet to load in there. All right. So we want to go back in here And we want to, let's see, we want to go down here to our waypoints, and that's field 2. We want to save this course. Actually, let's go back, because let's click on field 2. Over here, these are folders. Field 2 is a folder, and we want to save this course in field 2. Alright, and we'll come over and hit activate, and we want to call that plant 3P for 3 planters. Okay, and all right, now you can come over here and see under field 2 we have plant 3P. Now, I don't know, I tell you what, let's do, let's clear that. Let's see here. All right, change mode. All right, that, and we want to delete that entry. Activate it. All right, now this one should be the one that we're at. Okay, plant 3P. That way we just won't get them all mixed up. All right, so change mode. And now if we get out of there, we can come down here. We can click on this, and let's see here. Plant 3 planters. Load course. Activate. And now we have plant 3 planters. This particular tractor, it will be 1 left. 1 left. And we want to start at the first waypoint. Okay? Alright, let's go to the second tractor. Alright, let's pull this up. We want to load that course into that second tractor. Activate. And now down here at the bottom, you can, or down here on the HUD, you can see that we've got that course in there. First waypoint, and this one will be center. Okay. All right, we're moving right along. Let's go to the third one. And let's go back to that second one first. Let's go back, because we may have one loaded in there. And what we didn't do is we didn't clear. Let's clear that current course. All right, and now let's reload it. Because we forgot to, or I forgot to check to see if it had a course loaded in it, and it didn't. All right, let's make sure this one is center. Okay, now let's go to the third one and see, this one has one loaded in it, Mulch 2T. We don't want that. So the first thing we need to do is go over here and clear the current course, and then we need to load this one and activate it. And now, as you can see, we've got that course loaded in it. This one will be 1 right. So if you follow my cursor, 1 right, center, and 1 left. Okay. Now let's go back over to number 1, and let's tell him to go to work. Okay. Let's go to number 2. Let's tell him to go to work. And let's go to number 3 and tell him to go to work. All right. So it looks like number 1 is off. Number 2 should be lining up here in a minute. Which he is. All right. Number 3, he'll start lining up here in just a moment. He's starting to roll forward now. And everything is looking real good. All right. And they are off. We have 3 planters running on Courseplay. Everything looks great. Now, what we want to do when we get up here to the end, we want to make sure they're going to compensate for the width of this field. We don't know whether they'll do it in the beginning or whether they'll do it at the end. In the past, I have had them do it both. So what I mean by that is we may have a row that lead harvester may not go over as far as he needs to, which will make probably the end harvester and the second harvester collide. So we want to just stick with these guys and make sure that whenever they compensate, and they'll only do that once. Once they make their first turn up here and everything is running right, then you won't have to worry about them anymore. But on that first turnaround, that's where it's very crucial that you watch them and make sure. You may have to stop them and get them straightened out before they run into one another. But that's okay. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on them and see how they do. All right, we're at the end of the field, and we're just going to keep an eye on these guys. We want to make sure that number 2 harvester or planter is over far enough that he won't collide with the number 3 planter. So we'll find out here in just a moment. If so, then we'll need to stop this guy and get him out of the way. And let that planter go through. But it looks like, and as you can tell, it looks like we're going to be okay. But you can see what narrow piece that this planter is going to have to plant. They compensated for the width of the field. From this point forward, they'll be fine. They won't have to compensate again, so you won't have to watch them. It's only on that first turn. Sometimes it'll overlap, and the 2 planters or 2 harvesters, whatever, they'll collide. So that's what you've got to watch for. But anyway, these guys are off. And if we jump out of we can jump out of this tractor. And as you can see, we're 98% yield bonus, 100% fertilized. And this is 476.93 acres. So, yeah, it won't take long. They'll have it planted. So anyway, we'll go over and we'll check on our mulchers, see how far along they are, get them out of the way. All right, we're getting down to the end of the next row, and we'll see where they should all be taking a full row then, a full path. But we do want to just watch and make sure that everything is running right, make sure that they don't run into one another. This is Courseplay, and sometimes it works like it's supposed to. Sometimes it'll surprise you. So, now this guy here is slowing down. He's obeying his distance, his convoy distance. He's waiting on the next one to get started and get out of the way. All right, now he'll go in and he'll follow in on the other side of that one. Number 3's coming up. And he should start slowing down. And like I say, these guys can cover an awful lot of ground pretty quick. Pretty quick. Now, in that field of soybeans that I was telling you about, that's right at 3,000 acres. It's not quite 3,000, but pretty close. When I planted that, I had 6 of these guys running in that field. And that was before Courseplay would allow multiple tools in the field. Yeah. Now that was a trip right there. Because what they would do, what you had to do is you set them up to run with AI workers, but you had to space them out in the field and make sure that they were all turning the right way so that they wouldn't run into one another. So, now see, now he'll take a full swipe, and that's what we're looking for. And they'll be good to go from here on. It's just that first turnaround that you've got to watch them, because they've got to compensate for the width of the field somehow, and that's whenever they do it. So, all right, we'll get over here and we'll check on our mulchers, make sure they're not running into one another, and we'll get them out of the field and out of the way. Well, as you can see, these guys are coming right on across this field. It sure don't take them long. And that's why I decided to go with 3 instead of 4, because it don't take long at all. But anyway, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And everything looks real good. Yep, we have that much more to go, and it won't take them long. So we'll turn around here and we'll make sure number 3, he gets on his lane or path or whatever you want to call it. But it looks like he's getting turned around up there. Oh yeah. All right, well, we're just going to let him get to it. We'll get back with you in a moment. All right, as I told you, it ain't taking these guys very long at all to get across this 400-acre field. You take 3 of these these Seed Hawk planters, and they can flat get across the field in a hurry. So I think from here, I think we're going to call this a video. If you've enjoyed the video, please go down there and give me a like. Sure appreciate it. If you found any of this content helpful, please use it. If you'd like to share this video, please do. But as for me, the Dirt Road Farmer, I think we'll call it a day. And until tomorrow, as always, thank you for watching.